Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rise and Slay Talk Show. My name is Rochelle Slay, or Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. So, as you come on in, please let me know where you're coming in from so I can give you a shout out. And you decided to spend a little bit of time with me this morning as we go over our conversation today. And the topic is your style authentically you? Now, this Rise and Slay talk show is specifically designed for women chiefs or command chiefs who are currently serving or are veterans who are ready to stop waiting to be noticed and start becoming the obvious choice for the post military opportunities they deserve. Okay. But everyone is welcome. But I'm specifically talking to the women who have walked in the shoes that I have walked in. And as a 30-year United States Air Force veteran, I am coming on here and I am creating a lot of noise about how we can show up. So I am a personal brand strategist. I am an author of several books, a talk show host of not only this show, but there is a show that comes on selected Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a certified image consultant. What does an image consultant do? Well, we focus on appearance, behaviors, our communication skills, and our digital presence. And once we master these four areas, we can pretty much get to where we want to go rather quickly. All right. And so I transitioned out of the Air Force in 2021. And y'all, I cannot even think through all the opportunities that I have been able to receive. And it was because I have been focusing on my personal brand and rebranding, if you will, not changing how I am or who I am, but really focusing on the strengths that I have and then bringing that and translating that into what others can actually understand. Okay. Because when we have served, there is a different language and there's a different way that we can go about to gain influence and impact in so many different ways, because we're not done. All right. I said I wasn't done after service. And so I'm continuing on this journey. In each episode of this Rise and Slay talk show, it explores the strategies behind visibility, executive presence, influence, and opportunity readiness. So when the invitation comes your way, you're already ready and prepared to say yes. Okay. So, what are we talking about today, y'all? Well, we're talking about how your style is. Okay. Is it your own? I go to a lot of events, I attend a lot of different I get different invitations. I'll just say that. I'll get different invitations to different sort of things. And so when I go, I notice that a lot of people are choosing to show up like everyone else. And I am a disruptor. All right. I am saying to everyone that I know, do you, okay? Dress like you. And we are just using our ability to create this visual image so that people can understand our personality, our leadership, because everything is buttoned up, if you will. I mean, we're not booted and suited, but we're making sure that the level of leadership that we already have is being displayed visually. So we start with the word slay. Slay means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym which stands for the method for which we go about getting these opportunities and being opportunity ready. And that is strategic identity, leadership presence, aesthetic authority, and your narrative power. It is a framework that I created and also teach other women to do the same. And I have been so blown away by my clients' transformations that I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. Show me more, give me more, be bold, be you. Okay, because that's the only person that you know. So today we're going to talk about 5 signs that you haven't really found your signature style. So a few weeks ago, I did a workshop and it was titled Slay Your Signature Style Masterclass. Okay. And I had um, had a group of women who came in, and we just started talking about signature style and what it means, what it looks like, what you can start to do now, just giving some insights. And one of the things that I was hearing and was, a lot of them haven't really found their signature style after transition. And some of them had transitioned immediately from the military. Some were in the military, then went to the corporate space, and then now are doing something new in this next chapter. And so I was listening, and these are the signs or the things that people were telling me or they were sharing. So one of the things was your closet is full, okay? They have full closets, but they were saying, I ain't got nothing to wear. Okay. Now, many of us have extensive wardrobes. Okay. I have been in some closets and I'm like, there is a lot of clothes in here. All right. And then when I start to really look at what they had, it was like, okay, you have a lot of clothes in here, but what are you wearing? Okay, show me the pieces that you wear. And so 90% of the clothes they had in there, they're not even wearing. Okay, because when it was time for them to get dressed for an important meeting, a networking event, a speaking engagement, or dinner, they were standing in front of the closet and saying, I have nothing to wear today. I don't know what I'm doing. Perception is reality. Hey, Jen. Good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Rise and Slay Talk Show, live show. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. Hope you're doing well. And yes, perception is reality. All right. And I always tell women when they partner with me that you don't have a clothing shortage. Okay. You have plenty of stuff going on in here. What you have is a clarity shortage. All right. Because when you understand your signature style, getting dressed becomes easier because you know what works for you. Y'all, I can probably get dressed. If someone called me right now to say, hey, we have an event within the next couple of hours, I know what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going into my closet. My closet is my store. Okay. So we should look at our closets as being a store that you already have the items that you need. And I could pick out an outfit rather quickly, all right, and get dressed within a matter of minutes. Okay, so I just know that when you have a signature style, it makes things so much easier and they work for you because you know your silhouettes, you know your colors, you know what makes you feel powerful for the moment that you're going into, you know what really reflects your personality, and you stop randomly shopping and start making intentional choices. Looking the part is design. 80-20 rule applies. Yes, it does. It really does. You know, and Jen is a fashionista. She is a stylist. She is an image consultant. She is all the things. Okay. So if you're not following her, please do. She shares what she does as far as helping other image consultants really create a business and getting clarity on what that business is. And so she and I are like two peas in a pod. All right. She's been on the Slate to Success talk show as well. So she knows exactly what I'm speaking to. So when I go to the shopping stores, wherever those are at, and I'm shopping for my clients, I see other women in there and they are just randomly walking around in the store. And then they're picking up loads of clothes. They're going into the dressing room. And I could hear the frustration because, they're like, I don't know what to wear. I'm really trying to figure this out. Nothing fits. But it's because they have not designed, a framework for themselves and they don't know exactly what they're doing. Which makes the process even harder. So we've got to stop randomly shopping. Okay. This is about making intentional choices. All right. Everything that we are wearing and what we're doing in this space, because this is Slay Nation. Okay. So let me just clarify and just clear the air a little bit. This is Slay Nation. This is a community of trailblazers, change makers, change agents, influencers. All right. We have a duty and responsibility to show up. But when we're showing up, we're doing it with intention and purpose. There is no mistake about what we're doing. And as the leader, we have to understand there are some things that we need to think through. First of all, relevancy. All right. I am 54 years old, and I'm not ashamed to say that number. And I understand what my body can and can't do. All right. And so when I'm looking for said items, said pieces for myself, I understand what I'm doing. We all need to do that, but we also need to show updated, all right? Because we can become like a dinosaur, and no one wants to become a dinosaur. And so we have to do intentional choices, all right? Sign number 2, we keep buying clothes that don't work together, all right? Yes, having the right system removes decision fatigue. Absolutely. We can get so bogged down with, okay, I don't know, I gotta, decide today on this, I had to decide tomorrow on that. We eliminate all of that when we have a system and a framework in place. And so sign number 2 is that you keep buying clothes that don't work together. All right. You have a closet full of individual pieces. Again, I am very aware of what is happening in these closets. I've been in probably 10, 15 closets already. And they don't necessarily create a cohesive wardrobe. You've bought the beautiful blouse. All right. You have the fabulous pants that you like to wear all the time. You have this amazing jacket. All right. You have these shoes. Okay. I've seen a lot of red bottoms. All right. I don't have any red bottoms because I can't wear red bottoms. They hurt my feet. All right. But I have seen a lot of things in closet, but none of it really works together. None of it is telling a story. None of these things are really getting after what you're trying to achieve. So that's because you're shopping for individual items instead of building a visual identity. All right? Your signature style should create consistency. It's not boring. It's not predictable. All right? It is recognizable and memorable. That is what I specialize in. There is no feeling greater than going into a room and then afterwards, people are already buzzing about you. And then they reach back out to you because they remember you. And then they offer opportunities. All right, this is strategy. Okay, I don't just put on clothes just to put on clothes. It is a strategy asset that we all can leverage, but we have to know what we're doing. People judge by your appearance just like a book. We judge a book by its cover. Yes, we do. People say that that's not happening, but Jen and I can tell you it is. Okay. Every time I go into a room, I can tell who really took the time, effort, and energy to show up visually outside of the others who didn't. And it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. All right, so we're not boring, we're not predictable, we're being recognizable and memorable. We want someone to see us and begin to recognize our visual language. All right, this is something that a lot of women that I'm working with, they don't quite understand until after we break it down in the brand boldly experience. Okay, because that is truly the transformational experience that they're having. All right. You want to be recognized for your visual language. All right. So that was sign number 2. So sign number 2 is you keep buying clothes that don't work together. Sign number 1 was that your closet is full, but you still saying that you ain't got nothing to wear. Okay. Now, sign number 3 is you keep copying other women. I know, so happening. It's so happening. Okay. Sign number 3 is you keep copying other women. I don't know what is happening. All right. When I see the same type of outfits in a room, I know that people are just looking at someone else and copy and pasting. All right. We already got AI, which I use AI all day, every day. Okay. Because it is a tool, but I use it to amplify my brand, not for it to create my brand. I already got a brand. What I've noticed is the same suit, the same shoes, the same dresses, the same type of colors, and it's like bland, and I'm over it. Okay. Hey Maritza, how you doing, Queen? Welcome to the Rise and Slay Talk Show. Thank you so much for being here live. I hope you're doing well, Queen. And Jen says your image speaks for you 24/7. Okay. Um, so what I'm seeing is like women are seeing other women on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagrams, on Twitters, on whatever, okay, on TV. And you're thinking, I want to dress just like her. Okay. And then so you start buying these pieces that look like what she's wearing. But then there's the real problem. Her style was designed for her, around her body, around her personality, around her lifestyle, her coloring, her career, her preferences, and her brand. You don't need her signature style. I'm going to give you permission to release that today. You don't need her signature style. You need yours. And inspiration is wonderful, but imitation can disconnect you from your own identity. Okay. And the goal isn't to look like the most stylish women in the room. The goal is to unmistakably look like you. So we have to get out of the mindset that we got to look like everybody else, especially if we're updating our identity. Now, I came from the military. In the military, everybody looked the same. Okay. I mean, the only differences was our hair, if you wear makeup, a little bit of makeup or not. But there wasn't too much difference in the way that we were showing up. And a lot of women are choosing to use that identity that they had in the military and then transfer it into, what they want to do in the civilian sector. It's not working. Okay. Your brand should be in demand because it is authentically you. So make sure that you don't get caught up in that. All right. Sign number 4. Your style is changing depending on who's in the room. And this is very interesting. Okay, so all of what I'm speaking to is like the deep thoughts or the deep behind the scenes of a personal brand and styling, if you want to put it in those types of terminology. But your style is changing dramatically from one environment to the next. Maybe you dress one way when you're at work and completely different when you go into networking events, then completely different when you're speaking, and another way when you're meeting executives or nonprofit boards or donors or whatnot. And there's nothing wrong with having different levels of dressing, but there should be a through line. Okay. I could easily pull the thread all the way through of what you're doing and how you're doing. And there's something that just says, this is Rochelle, okay? Or this is Maritza, or this is Jen. All right. This is you. Your signature style should travel with you. It should adapt to the room without disappearing in the room. It's a concept. And when I see, because I have circles and I see women who are, I mean, it's like a complete night and day. I'm like, what is happening here? And then they wonder why they're not landing because people can't figure out what you're doing. All right. We want to show some consistency. Now, you don't have to do the full blown like I'm doing, because I'm in the chapter now where I'm like, every time, because I ain't got time to be wasting. All right. I'm not trying to, wait on opportunities. I'm attracting opportunities. So I'm being very consistent of how I'm showing up. And if you would like to do the same thing, if you're seeking opportunities to speak or be an independent consultant or be in nonprofit arena, being an executive in a new career, going for a totally new career, I'm going to tell you right now, authenticity pays. All right. People want different. They don't want the same thing. They want people to keep this exciting and attractive, way of delivering things, right? So we can do it. All right. And so we shouldn't be disappearing in the room. And the last sign is your clothes don't make you feel like you. Yeah, you put on that outfit, all right, and you don't feel confident, you don't feel polished, you don't feel powerful, you don't feel authentic, you feel like you're wearing a costume. I get that line all the time. How can I show up and not feel like I'm wearing a costume? People remember you by your image. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And Jen, let me just share this with you. So I went to an event and I had on the same outfit as this other woman. All right. It was the same camisole. We both had on pink jackets, but hers was a little bit different than mine. We both had on black slacks. But the differentiator was how I had accessories. Okay. My accessories were, listen, I take some time to look at what I have on my feet. All right. I doing my, jewelry, my makeup, all the things, right? You know what the other woman said to me? She's like, "Oh my goodness, I am taking a lot of notes just by how you showed up. We have on the same type of outfit, but you're wearing yours differently than mine. And you look like you're elevated, and I'm looking like I'm here." And I was like, "Yes, queen. All right. We got to make sure that we're not, lowballing ourselves. And it's not like you're wearing a costume. You're just expressing yourself in a way where people can remember. Um, the purpose of personal styling isn't simply to make you look good, it's to create alignment between how you look, how you feel, and how you want to be perceived. That's the game changer. Okay. It's alignment between how you look, how you feel, and how you want to be perceived. And when those three things are aligned, you carry yourself differently. You walk in differently. You communicate differently. You show up differently. All right. And that's the power of a signature style. So, again, I went over 5 signs that you haven't found your signature style yet. And that is, one, your closet is full of all kinds of things in there, but you're still saying nothing. I don't got nothing to wear. Okay. Sign 2, you keep buying clothes that don't work together. I don't even know. You looking on TV, you're looking around the room and you're like, oh, I'll buy that piece. And it doesn't have anything to do with what you're trying to do. And the story is not there. Okay. Sign number 3, you keep copying other women. That's copy and pasting. Um, I don't even know what we're doing, okay? But everybody's looking the same, and I'm telling you, authenticity pays. Number 4, your style changes depending on who's in the room. There is no through line, all right? One day you show up this way, one day you show up this way, and I'm like, I'm confused, all right? If you're confusing me, then you're probably confusing a lot of other people who are in the decision-making arena who want to bring you in, but they don't know where you fit in to the grand scheme of things. And number 5, your clothes don't make you feel like you. You keep saying that you are looking and feeling like you're in a costume. And if you are feeling and looking like you're in a costume, that is not your signature style. Okay. And yes, queen, details, they matter. So what is your signature style? Okay. Or what is a signature style? Signature style is not a uniform. It doesn't mean you wear the same colors every day, if you will. Okay. Now I do. Okay. I do because it works. All right. It doesn't mean you have to be trendy. Doesn't mean you need to buy an expensive wardrobe, and it certainly doesn't mean you need to change who you are. It is a visual language, all right? So let's think about your personality, your leadership, your confidence, your lifestyle, your level of authority, and your personal brand. So here's some questions that I want to leave you with before we close out, okay? Because I'm only going to be here to the 10:30, all right? And then I'm going to drop off. I want you to look at your closet tonight, and I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. What do I consistently reach for? What do I consistently avoid? And what outfits make me feel most like myself? And then I want you to ask yourself, the last question is, what do I want people to feel when they see me? Okay, because you are an experience. Whether you realize it or not, you are creating an experience. And that you can either create a good experience or a not so good experience. And we want to land it every single time. So the next time that I have a Slay Your Signature Masterclass, which will be in a few more weeks, I want you to sign up, okay? Because I really want to share with you how you can start to implement strategies to design your signature style. And not only that, I'm all about the slay, okay? We're not here just randomly winging it. That's not what we're doing. We're slaying it every single time. And I want to give you a few insights. The journey, especially if you're transitioning out of a military or from a long career or stepping into something new, we can't just show up like we were before. It's just not going to work. Okay. And so we have to understand what we're doing, where we're going, why we're doing what we're doing, and becoming more intentional about revealing who we already are. So the goal here is to really amplify it. All right. So again, I'll be putting out the Slay Your Signature Masterclass again. I offered it a few weeks ago. And then when you see it, don't sleep on it. Okay. Go ahead and sign up. All right. Join other women, and you're gonna see how you can rise, slay, and be seen, heard, and most importantly, chosen. All right. So this has been the Rise and Slay Talk Show. My name is Rochelle Slay, or Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for the ladies that came in here live with me this morning, Jen and Maritza. Thank you so much for checking in, Queens. I hope you're all doing well. I'll see you all soon, either on the Slay to Success Talk Show or back next week on this show on the Rise and Slay Talk Show. And please share. You can go to the Slay to Success YouTube channel and subscribe to that. Or you can share this episode with another woman who you think may need to hear this as well. All right. Keep on slaying till you can't slay no more. Bye-bye.